Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This match is going to be between Xerus, aka the Xerus for UCSD, representing the West in the CSL All-Star match. 9 o'clock position, Teal Protoss. 6 o'clock position, we have Master Asia as the yellow Zerg. This is going to be on Outsider, which means essentially Xerus is going to have a lot of work cut out for him. Special shout out to him. He's been kind of my buddy through all of this StarCraft stuff. Well, first of all, he's the best organizer of events ever, SoCal LAN, etc. Very good player. Did represent Canada for WCG 1 year. And he's been on USA Team B, head of Team Pandemic, and now actually head of Fnatic. So special congratulations to him, and an excellent guy all around. So I'm going to sing his praises here and there as much as possible. Master Asia, very, very talented Zerg player representing Georgia Tech and the East, and pretty solid matchup for Xerus. I think Xerus overall is the better player, but being that it's on Outsider, I've got to favor Master Asia just because it's such a heavy Zerg favored map. You've got that natural expansion. It is 3 players, so here's the natural expansion of the other base right here. But you've got this double gas here. You've got a protected main and natural secondary. It just gets really difficult for Protoss to accomplish anything on this map, specifically because of just the natural barriers, but then on top of it, plenty of expansions for Zerg to take, not that hard to hold. Even I feel like what some Zerg players can even pull is 2-hatch Muta directly into expanding everywhere, directly into whatever they want. Protoss, you generally have to open 2-gate and still basically block off your ramp, then take your protected inside natural expansion. So you get a little bit of a tech lead there, but I almost feel like you're completely obligated to go Corsair Reaver, because you need mobility to get behind, to get through this blockade, to go and actually do damage to any additional expansions that might be out there. And if you don't, you just end up in a lot of trouble. You just can't keep up. It looks like we're actually seeing, wow, a hatch on 9, so a 9 hatch from Master Asia, and putting the spawning pool down as well, maybe trying to throw Xerus off a little bit, maybe trying to get, and that's kind of unusual on Outsider. I'm kind of curious what he's up to with this. Also placing that extractor. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why he decided to go for a 9 hatch. It's very, very unusual. Sometimes he'll do it against Protoss to try to throw off a fast expansion build where they think, oh yeah, hey, that's just that, and get the spawning pool and produce a lot of Zerglings to kind of go rush at that front door against those cannons. But this isn't a map where you'll standardly see a fast expansion build, so I'm not quite sure why Master Asia decided to go for that. Xerus is scouting this now. He's essentially seeing that spawning pool develop, and basically what he's going to do is he's just going to play off that pool timing. So not quite sure what that strategy was for Master Asia. Looks like Xerus able to nab a little bit of minerals, and he's going to run off. And let's see how Master Asia plays it from here. It looks like he does have that natural expansion in play. He is harvesting his gas. He scouted that up right hand corner, found nothing. Xerus in the meantime does have his natural expansion running, has 2 Zealots, actually needs to line those up a little bit better to block that front door, and he's going to continue to produce Zealots just to play a little bit it safe. And yeah, here's that follow-up Zergling attack, but again, it's not going to be all that effective because there's no fast expansion from Xerus. This would be you can see this natural expo is pretty wide exposed, so if those Zerglings did run headlong and destroy a lot of stuff, it could be some trouble. But in the meantime, Xerus has, with that probe scout, has seen a lot of those Zerglings being produced. He has a ramp to defend, so he should end up in pretty decent position to fight this off with just Zealots on the ramp. So, and Master Asia investing very, very heavily in Zerglings. Yeah, he's going for an all-in Zergling attack. He's going to have to breach the ramp, and I feel like this is the worst map to really try to execute this on, because first of all, well, specifically this strategy, because first of all, you've got the map advantage via economy, not via a ton of troops early. Additionally, you only have to block your ramp with just a couple Zealots, and then you can take your natural secondary, so you're kind of running your head against a brick wall. And then on top of it, you're losing, wow, producing more Zerglings, you're losing a ton of mining time with this. So Xerus, as long as he fights actually he fights this off, gets a couple Zealots, and then follows up with his Stargate without too much time, I don't think Master Asia is really going to have any defense specifically to defend his overlords. He should get pretty well worked, and he has a ton of Zerglings out in the field. Yeah, I don't like the strategy at all. Should fall flat in his face. And Xerus in the meantime running a very solid economy. He does have that natural expansion up. Granted, there's no second gas there, but he should be in a position to, after he repels this, to as long as Master Asia doesn't continue producing Zerglings, to get some overlords down, go take that natural expansion, and then take the economic lead himself. It looks like there is a Hydralisk Den being produced for Master Asia in the meantime, but he hasn't been harvesting gas this entire time, so he's not going to have a lot of Hydralisks to work with. And just 4 Zealots on the front door, that probe seeing that huge amount of Zerglings on his front, so Xeris now in a position where he, well, with the 4 Zealots and a couple Dragoons, I still think he'll be able to repair it just by continuously producing some Zealots to follow. Master Asia getting another hatchery up, finally mining gas again. I don't see a Hydralisk being produced at any location, but nevertheless, Xeris being a little bit slow, and I wish he hadn't produced those additional Dragoons and instead gone to the Stargate, gotten a Corsair out. I think he'd actually be way ahead in this position. He's actually supply capped himself a little bit now, perhaps in preparation of sneaking a probe through to take an additional expansion. Actually, it looks like he just hit supplies, so never mind. But yeah, the Zerglings just sitting on the front door in the meantime, 3rd hatchery building up. Master Asia's still not out of this game just because it's the map that it is, but I'm going to have to put Xeris ahead at this stage. Looks like he's developing lair, perhaps going drop. That's the only thing I can kind of assume at this stage. He's already got that Hydralisk Den down. It's possible he'll go for Lurker Tech. Xeris sneaking out a probe to go scout this out. And really, Master Asia not exploiting a lot of the key elements of this map that he should, specifically the usability of Mutalisks, I feel, the double gas, the expandability. It looks like the Zealots now engaging out in the field, going to push those Zerglings back. Master Asia does have an Overlord to that bottom left-hand corner, just to see in case there was a probe sneaking that direction to do any sort of scouting. But actually, I'm not even sure that Xeris can send one that direction. That's normally a direction you'll... Well, yeah, you can actually. I take that back. That's right. It's open across the bottom. For some reason, I thought that was a landmass. Haven't cast on Outsider in a bit. Anyway, the Zergling's coming back. The probe was stopped by that drone on the ramp, so he's not going to see what's coming. But 2 Sunken Colonies on the front door, because actually Master Asia a little bit worried about getting rushed right at this stage. I think he's pretty significantly behind in supply. He's definitely economically behind, and he is at risk of getting rushed here. So Xeris in a very nice position to take this match. The Zergling's not going to be able to accomplish a lot here. Looks like we are seeing the Overlord speed upgrades, some Hydralisk upgrades. So let's see if I almost want to say that Master Asia looks like he's transitioning directly to 3-hatch Hydralisk, because he's producing a lot of Hydralisks at this stage. That does look like what he is in fact doing. And what Xeris needs to be Johnny on the spot with is Templar Tech, which it doesn't look like he is anywhere near, just putting 2 cannons. He's expecting Mutalisks as well, just feeling like he's a bit in the dark. And really Xeris' big mistake right now is that he did not go Stargate specifically, and it looks like he's finally getting that, never mind, he did, and there's the Corsair moving out in the field, but he might scout this just a little bit too late. It looks like he's going to the main. He's going to see this tech, but what he really needs to see is this grouping of the army right here, and I'm not sure that he's going to. It looks like he's swept around. Didn't quite see it. The Hydralisks, the Zerglings moving forward in position. 2 cannons are going to warp here, and Xeris actually still should be in a good position to deal with this fight. Unfortunately, Xeris bringing his again, more Hydralisks being produced, is hiding that Corsair to that 9 o'clock position when he really needs to have it to this forward front, where you can see Master Asia basically amassing troops on his front door. Not happening just yet, and he's just kind of scouting for additional expansions out in the field. I think Xeris is kind of playing into that standard, what he's basically expecting. He's looking for expansions. He's not seeing it, doesn't realize that there's an attack just about to encroach on his front door. More Hydralisks, trying to get some more cannons down, and right now he just doesn't have the unit composition to fight against this. He's trying to get some more gateways, but he doesn't have Psystorm really to stop this like he would like. The 2 Corsairs now seeing that massive Hydralisks on the front. Those Hydralisks do have speed and attack upgrade. 4 cannons going up. Xeris trying to get some more cannons down to try to block this off. More Hydralisks gathering up though, and honestly in the cannon versus rush, he again needs Psystorm and needs Dark Templar, one of the two, to kind of fight these, well, Dark Templar with the Corsairs to fight the Overlords back, to deal with these Hydralisks and Zerglings on the front, and I don't think he's anywhere near Templar Tech. He is trying to get Speed Zealots. Speed Zealots would definitely help, but I don't think that's going to be in time, nor do I think he has enough Zealots on the front, especially trying to maneuver against this pretty sizable attack force. More Hydralisks coming to the front. Master Asia dedicating to this attack completely now, and it looks like he is upgrading to drop, so thinking about following this up, maybe trying to do an out-of-position attack, loading up all these troops and coming in from the south perhaps, where Xeris isn't going to have the natural barrier defense of essentially the cannons and whatnot, which is really going to put Xeris in a tough position. He's going to have to, well, it looks like he's going to have to rely on Speed Zealots alone. The Hydralisks moving out to the north, finding nothing. More gateways, still no High Templar, the bread and butter of the Protoss army, and while his Dragoons are away, the Hydralisks crashing down on his front door. The Zealots not speed upgraded yet, and they're going to get absolutely rocked across the front. The cannons absolutely melting. The Hydralisks just eating through everything here. This piecemeal army, the Dragoons not in attack position really when they needed to be, and just overwhelming amount of Hydralisks crushing and breaking the front door. So it looks like even though Xerus was able to gain a slight economic lead for a time, wasn't able to follow it up with Templar tech, which he really needed to stop that attack. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Right now, actually, I'm not sure what the score is, but moving on to the next match, thank you for listening.